We're finally back.
Yeah, long anticipated. Sorry for the wait. We haven't been doing shit really. Well, no, that's a lie. We've been pretty busy.
We've been pretty busy. I feel like we've been working. The recession's hitting hard.
Yeah,
Just
the recession's here.
yeah, I feel like not even like we just been surviving, but I feel like I've been very much just like work home, you know?
Yeah,
Like I sadly don't have a lot of stories to be like, well, I did this, I did that, I hung out. Like
it really has just been work. You know.
yeah, which kind of sucks, but
I mean, that's what it is to be an adult, I guess, in
it's that
2023.
exactly, which bums me out, honestly.
But we still have fun, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we try. I feel like, especially like growing older and trying to be like sober and like not drink and stuff, it's very hard to, like, as an adult, hard to find stuff, to just
Yeah.
do that doesn't involve alcohol. And I feel like that's our biggest struggle right now.
Literally everything involves alcohol, though. Or even if it doesn't, it could be better with alcohol.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's our ultimate
Like,
dilemma.
you can go to a museum, get cultured. That's fine. But it's even better with alcohol.
With alcohol.
You know?
Yeah. And I hate that. And I hate that, like, that's always, like, our go-to, It's
Yeah.
that age old, like, I feel like not everybody, because everybody doesn't drink, but I feel like people who started drinking at a young age kind of go through that, like, because I feel like I started drinking, like, 15, 16, so, like, I did all my, like, a lot of partying, and I'm at the stage where, like, I don't want to get fucked up all the time, but it's still very much a social lubricant.
No, for sure.
Like, if I want to hang out with a friend, let's go grab drinks. If we...
Yeah.
Like you said, if we want to go to the museum, have a little bit of fun.
You know what I realized people do?
Huh.
They get coffee.
And I don't drink coffee.
Yeah,
I used to drink, like, iced coffee, but, like, it just made me too wired.
I hate coffee.
Yeah.
It makes me sleepy. It does, like, the opposite
That's
of what it's
weird.
supposed to do.
Yeah, so it's, like... And I know there's, like, a whole community of, like, straight edge people and shit out there, but, like...
Losers.
Not even like that they're losers. It's just... When you kind of brand yourself like I'm straight edge or whatever, to me it kind of like puts me like specifically off. I'm like I, as much as sober I want to be, there some days like I'd be fucking up, so I would hate to have a community like that. They're like, oh, like, I mean, I'm totally just guessing. I don't even know anybody who's like truly straight edge. Or did they say California sober? When
you just smoke weed.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny that that's like a term.
Dude, yes.
It's funny that as a state we're known for weed.
Bruh. It's crazy.
Like, even now that it's legal, like, people still like like migrate here to smoke our
I mean,
shit.
people do say California has one of the best buds,
It's definitely stronger, but I think it's just because we've been growing it longer.
Yeah, for like a minute.
Yeah, so like the people who are here, basically like pioneering that shit, they've nailed it. Like, they figured that shit out.
Exactly.
Whereas like, and also too, because it was already so strong, I think that even when it became regulated, you can't like put the genie back in the bottle. Where other states like New York, like, yeah, it's legal, but you can't grow over a certain percentage.
Some shit, because they be having like strong ass shit here, and I'm like, damn.
I'm so glad I stopped smoking weed when I did.
Right.
Because I don't think I would be able to get shit done, dude. I would just be fucking potatoed all day.
It's just, I don't know, even like that kind of lifestyle, California is very like synonymous with that,
Yeah.
So I feel like
it's like that surfer dude
mentality. It's very hard
like
in this day and age, especially in like California where we live, just to be sober, because I feel like we've been grappling and like playing with that 75-day,
Yeah.
And I truly want to accomplish it, just to say like I did something. And like,
yeah, I mean, it's all willpower.
Another thing, because we're planning to restart it, and
for
I just
like
had
the 25th
for the
time.
25th time. No, I want to say this is like the third time's a charm.
Nah, it's like the fourth
time.
Yeah.
But I really want to actually do an anti-inflammatory diet. hot Cheetos. No, an anti-inflammatory diet, actually.
Yeah, what's that look like?
It's actually a lot of random shit you can't eat. Like, you can't eat like tomatoes, you can't eat like peppers and shit like that. But it's supposed to be
like
really good for
bland shit.
Not, I mean, yeah, probably
it's kind of bland.
But it's supposed to be like really good for you for 75 days. I feel like it would, I don't know.
I mean, if you do any restrictive diet for 75 days, I feel like you'll...
Yeah.
Like, if you do no carbs for 75 days,
no,
you're
I get you.
better.
But I specifically want to target, like, you know. I feel like I just specifically have a lot of inflammation, and I heard a lot of people I know talk. Sorry for
guys.
A fan.
If you hear the fan, it's because it's hot as shit in here. It's like them summer nights, man. It'd be fucking warm.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we talk about this like most of our podcast episodes. Like, I'm just at this age. I'm 20. I'm about to turn 29. You're about to turn 30. I just feel like this is a stage in my life that I want to do better, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, you know, the theme of most of our podcasts has been like growth and like trying to be better and all that shit. But I think it's kind of cliche, but I honestly think that when you get to a certain age, that shit like naturally, yeah, you know what I mean?
It's that prefrontal cortex developing.
For real though, because I remember being like a young teenager and not giving a fuck about anything. Like literally, like I didn't even give a fuck about like my own life. I'm like, if I die, I die.
And
like,
it's funny you say that because like we've been together for like 8-ish years. I feel like even when I first knew you, like I've seen, and I think I told you this before, like I've seen you like maturing, you know, like before you were before you were like very fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
And now I feel like you taking people's consideration.
I mean, I don't know, because even back, I still took in like shit. I took shit into consideration. I just didn't.
You said, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, but like I would understand, like, oh, this is gonna make them mad.
Yeah.
Not my problem. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's growth, and I like to think I've been growing too, because I too was like very fuck it. And there's this phase that I went through in like my adolescence life when I was like in high school specifically. And I think I told you this before. I hated people who would like try hard. Mm-hmm. That was like one thing, like those kids who would like run the fastest in PE, or like you'll raise your hand to be like, oh teacher, let me, like I just hated that shit. And then one day I was just like, I think it's better to try hard than to not try at all, you know? And I was very much like,
where do you get not trying?
That's exactly what it is. You're just playing yourself when you don't. And I hate all the little cliche shit like adults tell you it was all true. Why didn't they
were
say
right
that?
all along?
Exactly.
Who would have thought?
And of course, like they're not gonna tell you, you know, especially your parents.
What I always said though was like, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell people whatever the fuck you think is the best advice ever, but you kind of, to some degree, have to let people figure it out on their own.
No, that's very true.
Because it means more. I think, like, perfect example, right? You can tell a kid or anybody, like, hey, don't touch that stove, it's hot. And they might be able to conceptually be like, okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't touch that.
Right.
But until they touch it for themselves, they're not going to really understand it. So it's like,
very true.
You should touch the stuff. Go ahead, see what the fuck happens. Experiment. Like,
I agree.
Fuck around.
And I was a very stubborn kid. Even now, I feel like you tell me to do something, I'm like, no, and I figure it out myself.
But I don't know if you've noticed, I stopped telling you shit.
No, I have.
Like, I'll say it. I'll be like, oh, you know, you probably shouldn't do that. And then I'll leave it alone. Like, I'm not here to fucking...
like,
you know,
be your dad.
Yeah,
no, I
it's
get
like
you
figure, you either listen or you don't, but you're gonna learn. So,
and what I think is the scariest part is when like some people don't figure it out, you know, they're just kind of like wandering. And I feel like I know a lot of people like my age, older than me, like just people in my life that I know who just are still trying to figure it out. And that's like one of my biggest fears, you know. I don't want to be like, I just
no, like, I was trying to like block the wind.
Like I thought you were like wavy. I don't want to be like 40 with 2 kids and still trying to figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong.
There is. If you have kids and you're 40, you should probably have like a certain level of, I get it, you know.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody's different.
Right.
And you know, it's everyone's on their own journey.
Right.
You know?
Right. I don't know.
It's just funny. I feel like the more I get like older, the more I realize like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
It's funny.
Know, like that's the part that like gives me kind of relief. It's just like like there's no manual for how to like do this shit correctly. There's just a bunch of suggestions from people, you know.
And that's the funny part, like especially like growing up like in my like teen years, I've always used to wonder like, when is it finally gonna click, you know? When am I gonna be like, this all makes sense? And like you said, the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, even my parents in their like 50s are still like trying to figure out day to day. Which like, it's funny for you, it's like more of a relief. To me, that's scary. We're all just like,
no, because it means that nobody has the answer. Nobody's doing it.
That's so scary. That's like, that freaks me out. Like even the president, not maybe Biden, but like to me, if you look at the top of the top, they don't even know what they're doing quite.
But this is the thing,
that
right?
kind of freaks me out.
If you're the first person to like reach a certain peak, you're laying the foundation for other people. So to be at that level, true. Like that to me is more scary. Like I'm okay with being like where I'm at and like trying to just get to the next level. I would hate to be like the president and have like a new 2023 challenge to deal with, and you gotta like figure
all these
out
millions of people.
Yeah, dude, you gotta fit like everyone's looking at you for answers and shit, and like nothing like this has ever happened before.
Right.
That's more scary to me. But it's like, oh, like how do you just like, make sure that your rent's covered and food's on the table. Like that's easy. You could look around and see how other people have done that and be like, all right, cool. Like this motherfucker started budgeting. This motherfucker got a side job. This nigga started a fucking podcast.
True.
Like
because I mean, my like fear with like I always like go back and forth. Like I want to have kids, but my fear is like I'm gonna fuck it up or like
nobody makes it out. Okay?
And I mean, I guess that's true. Everybody has their own.
You can give your kid the best fucking life, and they're gonna be like, "Mom, Dad, you were smothering. You never let me like have my own challenges, like anything. Like you can give your kid the perfect life, and they're still gonna have something to complain about." So
that's very true.
The way I look at it is just give them something mild to complain about. You know what I mean?
Because I feel like I can literally like pinpoint where like I wish my parents did shit differently, like treated me, like raised us differently, But you're right though. Even if they did whatever I wish they did, it would be something else that I'd be like,
You got to consider this too, though. This is the best like our generation.
Yeah.
Is the best generation to be raised so far, and then the next generation is going to be the best generation.
You think the generation ahead of us are the best?
That's what I'm saying. But like, if you look at what our parents probably went through growing up, they probably like when beating kids was okay and like motherfucking. Like the world was just more open, and then before that it was even more wild and shit, you know what I mean? And then before that it was like villages and fucking pillagers.
That's very true.
And like if your kid was just in the woods for too long, they got eaten by a wolf. Like that's
true.
At least we don't have to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? Like what is our trauma? True. Like, oh, you took my phone, you bitch. Like that's not
that is not my trauma.
but that's a lot of people's trauma. A lot of people would be like, you didn't respect my space, Mom. Yeah. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's very true. You had a house to live in and food. Like, I don't know. It's just funny. I think we're all blessed to be living in this day and age for sure.
No, okay, side note to this. I just, like, remember this something very random that just popped in my head. So, I read this theory, and it might have been like a Reddit theory. They said that, in the 20s, like, basically the 20s to the 40s, where like cigarette smoking and like drinking while you were pregnant was like pretty prevalent. They were just like whatever. They didn't have like that much, I guess, science on neonatal. That's babies, right? Like basically they didn't have a lot of science with that, so people were just drinking and smoking cigarettes. And somebody said maybe that's what attributed to a lot of these like serial killers and serial rapists in the 60s to 80s, because fetal alcohol syndrome and just smoking cigarettes, like the worst of the worst is like the facial deformities and shit like that. But the very mild stuff is like behavioral issues. And when you think about it, 60s to 80s, like serial killers, I don't know if you like know about like true crime and shit, was like super prevalent. Like that was the Charles Manson, like all of like the famous ones you can think of were usually around that like decade.
Maybe.
So it's shit like that is so interesting to me, and you can't. It's like, what is it? Correlation does not cause causation, but it's so interesting to me.
Think about this then. What do you think the generation of kids who had to deal with the pandemic and social isolation?
That's what I was gonna say. With these people vaping and shit.
How fucked up are they gonna be in like 10 years,
dude? And my thing is, especially, I was going to be like, the social thing is just a small thing, but that's going to be a huge thing.
That's pretty huge,
That's pretty huge.
Did you hear about that thing where it's like, I forget what age group, but there's a certain demographic of children who have like speech development issues?
No, because of the pandemic?
Yeah, because everybody was wearing a mask.
Oh,
so a big part of learning about speech is like seeing your mouth.
Like the mouth move.
And like facial expressions and stuff like that. So a lot of, there's like a big problem with like developmental progression within a certain demographic of kids. because of masks in particular.
Yeah, and that's so insane because I have read about like younger like babies on the opposite side of the spectrum where like because of the pandemic, parents were more home, so they're spending more time with their kids and like just doing what you're supposed to with babies, I guess. So they were like developing more, like crawling faster and like just doing more shit like developmentally way faster.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but that's just two people in their lives, you know. So if they're not around kids once they're toddlers and not interacting with them, of course that's going to affect them developmentally. It's just like I said, that's why I fear having kids. Like every little thing can like just impact. Like as much as you say you do the perfect shit, like someone can come and like kidnap, like diddle your kid, you know.
Yeah, but I think the
it's crazy.
The solution is information. You know what I mean?
Like tell them.
No, not tell them anything. So as a parent, you should educate yourself on the things that are preventable that you can do.
That's true.
To not fuck your kids up, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like we know now kind of as a culture, like don't, like spanking your kids doesn't necessarily work, right?
Yeah.
So if you spank your kids in today, like that just means you want to hit your kids.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like that's not you trying to be a good parent. That just means you want to hit your kids.
Totally.
So like shit like that, I feel like it just comes down to educating people more and, you know, equipping people with the right information. But as far as like, you know, get your kid getting diddled, a lot of that's your environment.
Yeah.
You know, what neighborhood are you going to raise your kid in?
Check the sex offenders.
Exactly. You got to do your fucking Googles, man.
Yeah.
But, and again, that comes down to information. Some people are just too loose with like,
too trusting.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, you know, my neighbor Joe Schmo will just watch, you know.
Nah, we're going to look into Joe's background.
Right.
What you been up to, Joe?
No, dude, going back to like how parents like back then would like beat their like toddlers and shit. And when you think about it now, like those kids like have no idea, you know, they're just learning about the world. So shit like that to me is like so sick and crazy. Because I remember being like spanked as like, but not like really beat, but like spanked as like a pretty young child for just doing wrong shit. And like, granted, for me it did make me like kind of stop, it did deter me, but I also remember like them like spanking my brother and all this shit, and like, but just thinking about it, like I don't like it, you know, and I wish they didn't do that shit to me, because I feel like besides that, like you do learn that like you'll get hit, you know, that's the consequence, it hurts, it makes you kind of like, it breaks that trust between like your parent, you know, like that person's supposed to
like love and care
exactly, or nurture, and like somebody who you're supposed to be safe with, and I feel like you're breaking that boundary. I guess that's the issue with it as well.
And for me, like I got spanked too, but it didn't work. Like
see, you were the opposite of the spectrum.
I just got more sneaky. Like I just stopped getting caught. Like I would still do all the same bad shit, and I just would make sure I didn't get caught. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which was, in my opinion, a great learning lesson. You know what I mean? Like I
think so?
Hell yeah, because like now I know, like if I'm gonna do something wrong or bad, like I know how to get away with it. Like there's forethought into like
it's
the
like
bad things.
Different lesson they taught you.
Right, exactly. But I definitely feel you on like that breaking of the trust,
know?
Because you do look at your parents a little bit differently.
Totally.
It's like, you know, like I thought you loved me, but you're causing me pain.
Exactly. You know? For over like, you know, like
like I got a bad grade or whatever.
Exactly. Or spilling shit on the exactly. Fucking, some very developmental shit.
And I feel like there's a way to punish kids like psychologically. That sounds fucked up, but like you don't like you can do like you can take stuff away and like ground kids, or like give them like hard chores, or like there's other things besides hitting a kid. I feel like hitting a kid is like almost the parents' way of letting out their frustration. It's not really about the kid
at all,
in my opinion,
at all.
Because it's like you're supposed to be this adult, you're supposed to be like 10 times smarter than this child. You don't have like enough wit to just like
like you said, it's their breaking point. You know what I mean? They're pissed, and it's, I don't know, it's very like, I don't think I would ever hit my kids and shit.
I always said, like, if I had like boys or whatever and they were in high school and they wanted to like be bad and they were repeatedly being bad, like all the things,
you could not hit a high schooler.
Hey, check it out. Simmer down, let me finish.
They're gonna be like,
I would take these niggas to a boxing game.
okay, something like that. Like
if they're like 13, 14, 15, I would be like, all right, you think you're tough shit, let's go to the boxing ring. And just like let them, like, you can fight me, I'm not gonna like beat you up or no shit, but it's like I'm gonna show you that like you're not
I feel like you can still do that with the girl if they wanted to.
If they were down, but I wouldn't. Me personally, I don't think I would. If I had a daughter, I would never like hit them.
Well, I hope we have all daughters.
But if I had a fucking boy, like I'm lighting that nigga up. Like we going fisticuffs, nigga.
I don't know.
Because like at least for me, like fighting an older male really like humbles you. You know what I mean?
Have you ever fought an older male?
Hell yeah. Me and Travis used to fight all the time.
And that much older?
My dad, and my dad used to like fuck around too.
Really?
Yeah.
Do boys just do that?
Yes, that's what boys do.
I don't know.
But it's like a very humbling experience, in my opinion.
Because why? If they beat you?
Well, because every boy thinks that they're the toughest, strongest nigga in the world. Right. And then when somebody comes and like folds you up and you can't do anything, it's like, oh shit, like, all right, like I should be careful before I just start stepping to anybody.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it really just like puts shit in perspective.
Yeah, that makes sense. But besides that, you know, like fuck people who hit kids.
Yeah, unless that kid's a fucking little shit.
I'm
not even saying I would never hit a kid. I will definitely if a kid was being like an absolute shit, I might slap a child.
It's not your kid?
Oh, especially if it's not my child. Oh my God, if I'm in like a grocery store and I see a kid just like being a little asshole and like their mom's like over there fucking looking at milk,
I'm jail.
I'm gonna just fucking smack.
No.
And then just walk away like nothing happened.
I can't
Fuck that kid.
I would call the police on you.
Good luck. By the time they get there, I will be at home laughing.
Oh my God. I don't know. It's just, you know me. I don't condone violence. It's just unnecessary, in my opinion. I don't think there's in any occasion or like time I think, oh, it's like violence will solve something. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
Maybe because I'm a woman. Because I know you said guys fighting it out and shit.
No, guys respect there's a certain level of respect with men because there's always the underlying threat of violence. Meaning, if you talk to me crazy, there's a pretty good chance that I'll punch you in the fucking face and vice versa.
Right.
So it's like you have to talk to at least other men with a certain level of respect because there is a certain threat of violence, right?
Right.
And with that being said, it's like, all right, you say like under no circumstances should violence ever be the answer, right?
Exactly.
So what if somebody decides to do violence towards you? What is your solution?
I don't know, call the police.
And what are they gonna do?
But see, if a big guy's trying to fight me, I can't fight them back.
Okay, but
you know
fine.
What I mean?
But what you said
I
was...
I guess a taser.
No, which is still violence. But what you said was...
violence?
If a man or woman comes up to you and decides to do violence, they rough you up, they start hitting you. You get away.
Probably run away.
You get away, and then you call the police.
Yeah.
The police are gonna come and do violence to that person. So it's still the fucking
How
solution.
How are they gonna? They're just gonna send them to jail. You know.
How willing? Hey, come here. Let's go to jail.
No, I get what you mean.
No,
like
they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to go do
yeah.
violence to get that motherfucker.
I mean, that's a very. I get that circumstance, but even at that point, like if a big man is trying, I guess I try to run away or tase them.
This is all I'm saying. Even if you believe that violence isn't the answer, you should be capable enough to cause violence to stop violence. At the very least.
I get that. I'll give you that.
At the very least.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. But
I'll give you that.
But that is the answer, because if somebody's going to do violence towards you, you're not going to talk your way out of it. You're not going to bribe them. Like, if someone means to do you harm, they're going to do you harm.
I've never, knock on wood, and I hope to ever get in a fight.
You better. Shit.
I really know, like, that's no. Remember I told you, like, going to prison, getting in a fight, like, I don't think I'd ever want to do that.
I mean, it's not fun.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Some people do like it, but
it's not like going to Disneyland. You're not like, whoa.
I don't know, because when I was growing up, that was like the thing to do. But again, I'm a boy.
Yeah, that's
so
what I was gonna say.
That was like the shit we used to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, boys are like dumb. Like, they want to race and like see who can climb the highest tree. Like, they just do like dumb shit, you know. So
I don't know.
Like, I get
my
it.
Thing.
What do girls have? They like fucking.
We have a lot.
I don't know.
We talk.
Just be sassy to each other.
I'm not even that sassy.
I feel like I'm more sassy than you.
You totally are. I'm just not sassy. I'm pretty, like, down to earth.
What the fuck?
You don't think so?
You're down to earth. That is not the fucking words I would use to describe you.
Really? I've gotten that a couple of times before in my life.
How are you down to earth?
How am I not down to? What words would you describe me as?
Goofy. Silly.
Okay, those are similar.
That's not down to earth.
They can go hand in hand.
No, it's not a fucking synonym.
Oh, I'm down to earth. I'm a chill person.
If you say so.
Goofy and silly are basically the same thing.
Nah, you're just a silly being.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Now I'm trying to think what 2 words would describe you. Silly.
Sexy.
Ha ha.
Sexy and sassy.
That's stupid. That's like a Tinder profile.
I feel like I'm more down to earth than you.
You think so? Okay, yeah. Now I'm like, what does down to earth mean? I'm like, do I not know what down to earth means?
What do you think it means?
I don't know.
I always assumed it meant like very like humble almost. Like
you don't think I'm humble?
No.
What? What have I been all like? With no illusion or pretension, practical and realistic. That's literally me.
Practical and realistic. That's definitely not you. You're neither practical nor realistic.
This man does not know me.
Realistic?
Am I not realistic?
You're the most unrealistic person I know, dude.
How am I not practical?
How are you practical? What's a practical thing you do? Exactly.
I can't say.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
What practical thing do you do?
No further questions.
Wait, what practical thing do you do?
I'm the most... Okay.
Like, give me examples of what practical things are.
This is like...
That's what I'm like,
but it's like very like specific to me. So like a practical thing is like I don't know if that's a good example.
See, it's hard. I'm like in my soul, I know I'm practical.
I don't know. That is funny. I actually don't have a.
That's what
but
I'm saying.
I know for sure I'm a practical ass nigga.
Are you joking?
You're not practical.
I literally was like, I'm down to earth and realistic. I'm hella realistic.
I'm more okay.
No,
for sure, I'm realistic. And the example I'll give you is like if I was going in for like a job interview, right? I would not disillusion myself to think that I got it if I didn't.
That's what I mean. Because sometimes you'd be like, "Oh, I got that."
When?
I don't have examples.
If I said I got it, it's because I know I got it.
No, dude, that's literally me.
I don't even say shit like that because I like to wait until like I don't like to give myself false hope.
That's
so like
me.
I would never even really say.
We're both
shit
Scorpios,
like
so we're probably the similar
people. Dude. Water signs.
You're so November babies.
November
Except
babies.
I'm not a November baby. It's because my mom is also a November baby. It's weird that we're all Scorpios.
Yeah, man. I mean, you already know this, but a lot of my friends are Scorpios.
Really? Who else?
Gabby, Janisa, ex-friend.
That's awkward. You didn't have to say that.
She's not gonna watch this shit.
I know, but other people will.
I don't know. Her. I feel like I just know like a shit ton of Scorpios.
I really don't.
Or it comes up. Like I'll be like, "When's your birthday?" And they'll be like, "November." I'm like, "No fucking way."
I don't even know. Besides you and my mom, besides those people you mentioned.
If I sat down and made a list, it's probably like...
That's crazy.
A handful of people.
I guess being a Scorpio is pretty basic. I don't know. I'm also not a huge, like, astrology girly. I don't know about you.
I'm a huge astrology girly.
Like, in middle school, I used to read it and shit, but, like, the moon and then, like, the retrograde, I never, like, fully understood it.
I don't really give a fuck about like the daily predictions or any shit like that.
Yeah,
or, like, or even like the moon and all that stuff.
Do you know the whole co-star shit?
No,
like that.
I don't even know what the fuck you just said. But like, I do know that when I meet certain people and I find out that they're Scorpio, it's like, I don't know, like you get along better or some shit. Like they're very similar to me is what I'll say.
Did you think I was very similar to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you not?
No. You were
it's
weird. It's
because you're born in October. You're fucking weird. You're fucking weird.
You had weird roommates.
My roommates?
Yeah.
Your fucking roommates were weird.
Wow. Don't
make me start listening.
No. I was gonna say don't act like you don't hate one of your roommates.
Who, Shirley?
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
That's what I'm like saying. My roommates are.
You hate her too. Everybody.
Stop saying
she's not gonna watch it either. Fuck Shirley, dude.
But imagine we get like popping and then she one day.
I hope she knows that I fucking still hate her ass, and I will
God.
never forgive her for being a bitch.
Anyways, no comment. I will not have myself on the internet talking about me.
Talking slander.
Yeah, about anyone.
This is the slander
I'm not
pod.
trying to get sued. I watched too many Suits episodes.
Who the fuck is gonna sue us?
I don't know. I'm joking.
hire Harvey Specter. We're gonna get out of it.
Do you think like lawyers like that actually exist? For everyone who watches Suits, Harvey, who's like basically the main guy, who's the closer, he just be doing all the illegal shit. I feel like Harvey wins every case. Is just like, oh, I know you did this, so you better do this shit for me. No, hold on. It's always that.
I don't agree. Because they make it seem that way in the show, like he's doing something illegal. He blurs the lines, and he cuts a lot of deals in order to not lose. So if he knows he's gonna lose in court, he'll like make a deal. You know what I mean? But if he knows he will win in court, he'll basically not hold back any punches. So he'll use shit like, oh, the thing that you know. He's
like, you're gonna get disbarred, go to jail, dude. He goes pretty crazy.
But that's not illegal. It's not like he's like, you know,
is that
forging evidence.
I feel like that's blackmail. That's illegal.
That's not illegal.
Blackmail is literally illegal.
But he's not like, hey, I'm gonna tell everybody if you don't do this. He's just like, I know what you did.
He literally
it's implied. It's implied, which is not a crime.
I mean, I guess no one's recording him. Thank God for him. But I'm always.
I fuck with Harvey Specter. If I ever get in trouble, I want a lawyer just like that nigga.
I just don't believe they exist. Maybe,
no, for sure they do. Maybe not. I mean, obviously it's a show, so it's like dramatized.
We're like, who's better, Saul Goodman or Harvey Specter?
Saul Goodman does illegal shit.
He does, not like actually.
Like that's a nigga who does not. He'll do some illegal shit.
I don't remember it enough to know what he actually.
I mean, the nigga basically worked for the cartel. Like, if that's not, at least Harvey has like morals. Like, if he knows you're guilty, he won't take your case. Yeah, you know what I mean. No. So he has to already like believe that you're innocent.
I see.
But shit, I don't know. Were you the one who asked me if I would be a lawyer?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
I forget what I was watching, but somebody made a great point. They were like, they would never want to be a lawyer because they don't want to have to fight all day. And I think that's what I was trying to say when you asked me that. It's like, I don't want to. I said I don't want to argue, but basically that's what I meant. It's like you're constantly like debating and battling people and like bickering.
Totally. As
a career, that's crazy.
For a time, I did want to be a lawyer, especially with my poli-sci degree. I was like, I could totally go to law school, but it's just too much.
In high school, my counselor told me I should be a lawyer because she said I like to argue, and I was like, "No, bitch, I'm just right." I'm like, I don't like to argue. It's just I'm lawyer. Right and you're wrong. Like,
that's hella funny.
It's really just that simple.
I feel like a couple of people told you should have been a lawyer.
Yeah, my mom, a bunch of people. I don't get it. Like,
I feel like you are pretty like argumentative.
Yeah, but I don't. But that's my point. Like, even going back to the Harvey thing, is like I don't think I would want to argue the innocence of somebody who I thought was guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So but it's that's like, why he doesn't take the
yeah. But I would be that type of lawyer where it's like, as long as I know you're innocent, we can find the evidence to back that up. You know what I mean? And then convince the jury. But to just be like, but as a lawyer, your job is to protect your client. So even if they are guilty, like your job is to convince other people that they're not. Or to at least poke enough holes into the other argument that they can't come to the conclusion that you're for sure 100% guilty.
Right.
So it's like,
there's different types of law though, like real estate.
Not for sure. Yeah.
Family.
Divorce law.
Yeah. I heard there's a lot of money in divorce law.
50% of people. 50% of people are gonna fucking be in that office. So
that's sad though. You would not like you go home and be like, well,
like I don't think I would give a fuck. Hell no.
No. Would you take like personal people, you know?
Like the homies, if they were like, I'm leaving.
Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. I'd be like, all right, how much money you want from her? Should we take it all? Let's take it all.
Social support.
Hell yeah.
What is alimony?
I don't know.
Because I know there people are like, they want alimony.
I don't fucking know, dude.
I'll look it up later.
Sounds like some shit I would never want to pay, though.
No spousal support?
Hell no. Support these nuts.
I can always you.
So, do we ever talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie?
I don't think so. We watched it.
We saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. It was pretty fire.
I really liked it. One of my customers came in. They're like, we're going to go watch it with their kid. I was like, dude, I really liked it.
It was really funny.
It was good.
Seth Rogen
It was so cute.
Yeah, I like that they were actually, like, teenagers. Like, hella goofy and shit. And not, like... Like, it seemed like they're like 13, 14 and not like 19.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
Like, in all the shows and stuff, they always seem like they're pushing 20.
Really?
Like, yeah, like in the original, like, WB cartoon. Like, these are like some mature ass teenagers. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on in New York, but.
Because that poison, whatever. Because I went into it being like, I don't even care about Teenage Mutant Ninjas. And first of all, I really liked the animation. I thought that was cool. And even the dialogue and stuff, and the basically like the typical, I just want to be a normal kid, you know? I really like that aspect. The person of color, like throw in the friend. That was cute.
April.
Was that her name?
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was a good.
They definitely brought it into like 2023, which I thought was pretty cool. It was like an updated version, which they definitely needed for the franchise. I'm also glad that they didn't go with the obvious villain choice of fucking Shredder, because that's been done in literally every adaptation.
Okay. I don't know the lore.
Yeah, so it's like Peter Parker and Green Goblin. Okay, it's like every movie's gonna start with Peter Parker and Green Goblin, but they just went with a completely different villain.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, but you know they're definitely probably gonna set it up for a sequel.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I hope they do. I liked it. I'd watch it again.
I would. I think it's on it's on the thing
really?
now.
We should watch it.
Yeah, I think I saw it like the other day.
We might watch it after this podcast. And we're like, watch it with us on the live stream. You know how people say that?
Dude.
On Discord? Is that how people do it?
Twitch.
On Twitch. Yeah, there we go.
If we could figure out how to live stream shit, if we get that popping.
I wouldn't want to.
Like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Leave a comment below.
Leave a comment if you want to see us on Twitch.
I know, right? Write the word Twitch.
Right. That'd be fire though. I feel like live streaming is dope because people can like interact with you.
Oh, okay.
So like,
if
we
join with you with video.
No.
Oh.
But they can type shit. They could be like, flicker in the nipple, and I'd be like, for $10 donation, thank you.
Yeah, no, it will be very PG.
Will it though? I don't know, but yeah. So the fucking movie. Shout out to Ice Cube. He played Superfly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was pretty great.
It was great.
Yeah, it was a pretty
fun. Who
did
Seth Rogen play?
I don't know if he produced it. I don't think he played anything.
Oh, okay.
Or not produced it. He directed it. I think he directed it.
Okay. No, I don't know, but it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I recommend people seeing it on whatever it's out on. Tomorrow we're planning to see a movie. I think we were planning to see The Nun. Haunting of Venice.
I mean, I didn't agree on any nun movies. I don't like scary movies, dude.
I mean, do you hate it?
I'm not a fan.
Why do you not like scary movies?
Because like I hate like jump scares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
that's scary. You're like
No, but it's just like why? Like you know what I mean? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Do you not like haunted whatever house?
No, I like movies that are like psychologically thrilling. Like It, the remake of It.
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
I thought.
We saw it together.
Yeah, I thought that was like a good. Like it wasn't like scary, like oh my god, but it was like uneasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like oh shit, like I like that type of stuff. But like just jumping out of like the shadows and scaring me, I'm just like fuck you, dude. Like anybody can do that. Anybody can just like slowly,
it's like cheap, yeah,
like slowly make the like, and you know it's coming. That's the thing.
And shit, yeah.
You fucking know it's coming, and then they still get you, and it's just like ugh. Like, is this what we're doing? Grow up.
You're like, oh my god, is it coming up? Is it coming up?
Dude.
Yeah. I get you. I mean, we'll see. Because it's, I don't know if people knew this, every Tuesday is like $5 at all movie theaters, or at least our movie theater.
Well, it's like matinee. I think Tuesdays or Sunday, depending on the theater.
Yeah, so we be
ours is Tuesday.
hitting, and ours is fancy with the recliner seats, so it's...
Yeah, they bring you food and shit.
It's nice.
Which is fucking weird.
Why? Because it's all dark.
Yeah,
they're all with the little carts.
Yeah, and they always come like 10 minutes into the fucking movie
I was thinking
with their little lights. They're like, "Here's your cheeseburger, sir." Like, oh, just keep it down, motherfucker. You're trying to watch a movie.
I would feel so awkward if I was the waiter. They're just like,
I'm sure they're used to it by now, but
no.
I don't know. It's funny. What else is playing?
Everything else sounds like Blue Beetle. Barbie's still playing.
I heard Blue Beetle sucked.
Really?
Yeah, I heard bad things.
What else was playing? Gran Turismo. I don't know what that is.
Funny enough, Seth Rogen has a new movie out too, but I don't know if it's in this theater.
Really? What's it called?
I forget what it's called, but it's about like the GameStop thing. Remember when everybody was like shorting GameStop?
Oh yeah, I do remember
like
that.
2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's about a guy who like invested a bunch of money. He's basically supposed to be like a piece of shit like stock investor. And he loses a bunch of money because of the GameStop thing because everybody was buying it. He bet on it being short. I don't know if that's the correct. I don't know if that's how they say it, but he bet against GameStop and then everybody bought the shit, causing him to like lose money. So it's supposed to be about that. It looks pretty good.
So it's not like a funny movie.
I mean, it sounds pretty funny to me. A rich dude losing all his money.
That does not
sounds hilarious.
It sounds serious. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go to the other theater, the one by the New Grandway, New Parkway. Yeah.
Also, like another fire theater, New Parkway, if you're in the area.
Yeah. Has like cute little indie movies. They have like the popcorn theater, with the seasoning.
With like curry seasoning and shit.
Bomb.
And the theater is like, it's not set up like a traditional theater. It's like a bunch of couches and shit. So like, it's just like a bunch of couches and chairs and whatnot.
It's
and
cozy.
They also let you eat in there, so you can get like pizza and
tacos. I think I got soup once.
Yeah, you can get a nice bowl of soup with your popcorn. And they have alcoholic beverages, so
if you're check it out.
Of age, you may drink. Pretty fun stuff.
We saw like a couple of good movies there.
What was that stripper movie we saw?
Oh my god.
Was it called Stripper?
No, it was so good. She was with her boyfriend. She goes like with that white girl, right?
I don't think she had a boyfriend. I think the white girl had a boyfriend.
No, she did back home.
Oh.
Yeah.
So basically, they went out of town. They went to like Florida or something. I think it was like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
To go strip and make money. And she goes with like this crazy white friend of hers who has a boyfriend who's with them on the trip, and then like her pimp, her pimp's with them too. This black dude who's like pimping her out, and she's like, "Oh, it's cool, baby. Like we're just gonna go strip." And then they go to like a hotel, and she like fucks like 30 dudes into the night. And then the black bitch is like, "Hey, you fucking these niggas for $50? What the fuck?" And she starts charging them like 400.
I forgot about the whole premise.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was good.
That was a good ass.
Based on a true
story. Yeah. Fuck, I wish I could remember what it was called.
Me too, but y'all should check that movie out.
Damn, that's gonna bother me. And what else? We saw Parasite, didn't we?
Yeah, we did see Parasite.
We saw Parasite there. Another good movie.
Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
we saw that there, right?
The last Black Man in SF. Yeah, shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That was good.
Yeah, man. Good shit.
Yeah.
Pretty fire theater. I don't know.
But yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode there.
Well,
if you watched it to the end, go ahead and drop a Twitch in the fucking comments.
Twitch, yes.
Drop a Twitch in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one.
We'll see you very soon, hopefully, because we're trying to do this more.
Yeah, we're going to do one tomorrow, so we will be
yeah.
back on the consistency horse.
Bye.
Deuces.